9 Die Hard.
Better Homes, sponsored by Homebase.
Hello and welcome to Better Homes, the programme where two competing families are given the home makeover of a lifetime. Over the next half hour, our designers will challenge each other to make the better home. And by the end of the show, the family who's added the greatest amount to the value of their property will also win £5,000. Behind me are Amanda and Peter and their little girl Hannah. And over there is where Sue and Neil live. The Castle family have lived in this modern house for nearly 2 years. Sue is a full-time mum and Neil works in a bank. They've two sons, Sam and George, who love running around. It's thirsty work, but then boys will be boys. As far as decoration is concerned, they've fairly traditional taste, with a few action splashes in the boys' rooms. This family wants more space, and the only way to do that is to move into the garden. So you're pushing me outside into your... Oh, this is a lovely little garden,
Yeah,
isn't it?
it is, yeah.
Gorgeous, yeah. So what do you want us to do for you?
We'd like a conservatory.
Why?
Because, well, first, we've always dreamed of having a conservatory, and when we first moved to Sherborne itself, we went to have a look at a house with a conservatory, but unfortunately we didn't like the house. So really, our dream is to get a nice...
So you got the house you want the conservatory added
Yes.
on. What would you use it for?
Entertaining. We have quite big families and we get together quite a lot, so you know, the extra space would definitely...
Because I can imagine that would get quite cramped inside.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, the name of the game for us is to add value to the property. Do you think this will add the most value?
Definitely. 'Cause it's another room, so we certainly hope so.
You're convinced of this, Neil, aren't you?
Absolutely not.
Here speaks a man who works in a bank. Well done. My mother always said, be kind to the man at the bank. That's what we are doing. Now, the competing neighbours live about 30 yards in that direction, and they're called Amanda and Peter. Peter Dalby has lived here for a year with his wife Amanda and their 18-month-old daughter Hannah. Amanda is expecting again, so for the moment she's taking it easy, and who can blame her? The house is beautifully decorated. They are keen DIYers, but neither of them have particularly green fingers. So let's go outside through your lovely conservatory into the garden, because this really is the area you want us to work on for you, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
What do you want?
Well, we like to come out and sit and relax outside, and we can't really do that at the moment because Hannah's forever falling down the step, or she can't get out of the conservatory on her own. So we'd like it to be a bit more child-friendly.
Yeah. What kind of style are you after, though, Pete?
Well, we like Mediterranean styles. We've been to the south of France a few times, and we really like that kind of terracotta feel, and large pots with lots of flowers in and bright colours.
Do you think that by doing this to the garden, because it's quite a small area, isn't it? Do you think it is going to add a lot of value?
Well, we hope so. We hope if, you know, a family particularly like sitting out in the garden like we do, it would make a big difference to us.
Suitcases are packed. Now, 3 local estate agents have been round both properties. Each one has given us a valuation. I've taken the average of those, and I'm keeping those safe in these envelopes until the end of the show. So, you're all in? OK, it's time to go off to the hotel. We'll see you very soon indeed. Enjoy it. Bye. See you very soon. This week's designers are Toby Buckland with twin Neil. They're in the garden. And Genevieve Hurley is working with Adrian to create a conservatory. As usual, Dave Wellman is there to help them all. Now Toby is going to turn this garden upside down. The fence at the side of the house is the first thing to be ripped away. But over the road, Adrian's having a great time destroying the patio. Remember, both designers have roughly the same amount of money to spend. Now, Sue and Neil have always longed for a conservatory ever since they got married.
Yes.
And you're going to be their guardian angel, aren't you?
I'm giving them a huge conservatory. I'm taking up nearly the whole of the patio, but I'm not going to touch the garden.
No, because the little boys, Sam and George, they love to play football, don't they?
Yeah. I'm going to do a wood grain,
Yeah.
UPVC, so then the colour will match their wooden windows.
Yes.
So that'll match in with the rest
frames,
of the house.
yeah.
Exactly, with the frames.
So what about access to the conservatory? What are you going to do with
Well,
these things?
from the dining room where
Yeah.
they have those sort of sliding doors,
Yeah.
I'm going to put double French doors in a matching finish, and then they'll match the double French doors out into the garden.
Oh,
So,
lovely.
yeah, it'll look nice actually.
That will be nice, won't it? Well, it's pretty bland at the moment, isn't it?
It is, it
Toby?
is.
What's your theme going
Well, it's going to be a seaside garden. Or
Seaside garden?
Yeah, it's going to have a holiday theme to it, really, by the seaside. So it'll be a veranda
Yeah.
for sitting out and entertaining on.
I know they want that.
Yeah, lots of pebble beaches, really,
Yes.
where the borders are.
Yeah.
Because they're quite safe for Hannah to play on, that's
Absolutely.
important. I think they'll like it. The thing about the garden is because it's small and it's very awkward, what I've tried to do is make it as usable as possible in all areas. So getting
Yeah.
rid of all the little areas, like the alleyways and
Yeah.
that. But also putting a large awning that comes off the house so that it can be used when it's wet.
What about this bit down here, Toby?
Well, this is going to be decked. See this wall? This
Yeah.
is going to have to go because it's neither here nor there. It's more like a trip hazard. I'm going to get rid of this and replace it with sleepers and put a raised bed behind. And the sleepers will be high enough so it's comfortable to sit on. So
A few cushions?
a few cushions, good for entertaining. That's the idea.
Well, this wood grain effect is matching in beautifully with the window frames.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Looks like wood, right colour.
It does.
Love
You know
it.
when you have white conservatories?
Yeah.
Well, I always find that they're kind of a barrier almost. The colour is a barrier to you being in the garden. But if you
Yeah.
paint it a dark colour...
Yeah, a dark colour, it brings you into, it's as if you're in the garden.
But Sue and Neil told me that this patio, what was their patio,
Yeah.
doesn't get the sun in the morning, but it gets it all afternoon, which was fantastic if it's patio.
Yeah.
And lunch there.
Yeah.
A killer for a conservatory, Jenny. So what are you going to do with that?
We've got lots of windows that open.
Just up here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
all the way around. We've got 2 windows that will be up in the roof, which is tinted glass, so
Oh,
that'll help with the
nice.
UV filters.
Yep.
The air going comes in and then goes through the conservatory like that.
Oh,
It's a constant flow, and there's also a system like that in the top of the conservatory, just the main part of the conservatory.
OK, so you feel you've catered well for
Yeah,
that.
shouldn't be a problem.
You've got quite a lot of building work to do in the garden, haven't you, this time?
Taking out all the old block pavers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite a cold surface.
And it's quite unfashionable now, isn't it?
Well, this type is...
So you're going to put in some lovely decking.
That's it, much warmer.
And this is the style of decking that you're putting in?
Yeah, it is. It's fluted on one side, so
Yeah.
it's got plenty of grip. But if you don't like the look of that, you can lay it the other way up.
Oh, reversible.
Yeah, reversible.
Oh, I
Well,
see.
we don't miss a trick, do we? But yeah, but I think we'll lay it this side because it's got more grip, be safer.
Yes, because the water goes in between here, doesn't it?
Yeah,
and
and runs
ridges,
away.
yeah.
So that's the plan.
Excellent. Well, that's obviously for Amanda and Peter and all their grown-up friends. What about Hannah? And the one on the way?
Well, I'm going to make a sandpit.
Oh,
A little sandpit in a
oh,
barrel.
they love it. Little ones love sand. In a barrel. It's so special.
It is very special.
So how did he do it? Well, to bring the Sahara to Sherburn, Toby dug a hole large enough to take his sandpit, which started life as a barrel. First of all, for drainage, he drilled some holes in the bottom of the barrel. Instead of brewery rejects, you can try specialist barrel makers and garden centres for a barrel to suit you. Next, Toby put in this fleecy material to hold the sand, and he secured that down with nails, galvanised so that they don't rust. And now it's ready, so he put the barrel into the hole at an angle, leaving a lip of about 4 inches. Then he filled it with clay sand until the sand was level with the ground. Now, one thing you have to watch out for with sand pits is that the local wildlife doesn't leave little gifts for you overnight. So to stop any surprises, Toby made a circular cover from a sheet of plywood. What's a sand pit without buckets and spades? And a few fish. There you have it, a safe garden play area for toddlers. Over at the conservatory, Genevieve wants all her windows and doors to match, so off come the old sliding patio doors, and on go the new French windows in a lovely wood finish. Toby! You can stop. You put in a new boundary fence.
Yeah.
The old one was really tatty, wasn't it?
Oh, it was poor.
And a
very
lot
bad.
of those panels had already fallen down.
I don't know how long it had been like that. Honestly. It was
Oh, mine's
terrible. But we're using a new
Yep.
type of fence.
Cheers.
And when you think about it, a fence is a good first impression, isn't it?
Yes,
Gives a
it
good
is,
run if
yep.
you want to add value to your home. But the good thing about this fence is it allows the breeze or the wind to filter through it.
Because it's got the gaps
Yeah,
here.
so it slows it down.
Yeah.
It stops the wind eddying over the top of the fence and damaging plants in your garden as well.
Oh, I see. Well, we're round by the side of their house, Neil. This is the house, that's the next door neighbour's garage.
Garage.
But this wasn't used for anything, was it?
No, it was a dead area. What we're going to do, block paving
From
on
the patio that Toby's ripping out,
that Toby's ripping out. Topsoil off, make a flat surface, lay these back down, so we can have a gate either end and a corrugated roofing, yeah.
Oh,
and it's
lovely.
just going to be a useful space. I mean, it's quite a
For
big area.
storage,
Yeah,
really,
for storage,
isn't it?
for anything you want to use it for, really.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Good stuff. How long's it going to take you?
I don't know. I've no idea.
In part 2, Dave Wellman drills me in carpentry. Will Sue and Neil love their new conservatory or want their old patio back? And what will little Hannah make of her new play garden? And we'll find out who'll win £5,000. See you very soon.
Better Homes, sponsored by Homebase.
Now nappy changing has changed. With new absorbent Pampers care mats. Protects like a mat, absorbs like a nappy.
At Comet, we're lowering our prices. Forever.
We've started by lowering the price of over 300 top products.
And as we continuously check over 15,000 prices every week, we can guarantee that the Comet price will always be low.
So, we won't need these anymore?
Lowering our prices forever?
Space? We've been there. Time? That's the new frontier. Physically traveling through time isn't possible. But with a time machine from Time Computers, you can go into the future. Imagine a whole book, encyclopedia, or even a movie on a single disc. And the internet is changing the way the next generation think. From here, we can see 1 billion years into the past. With a time machine, you can see into the future.
Saturday's Express comes with this free 48-page magazine full of quizzes, games and competitions. Express Puzzled, free every Saturday in the Express.
Tomorrow's rugby stars have our full support too. Lloyds TSB, an official sponsor of Rugby World Cup 1999.
At Comet, you can buy this German-built Blomberg 1300 spin washing machine at this price. That's Comet sense.
Buy a time machine and get free software tokens worth up to £500 for your school to educate future generations.
When you wipe your work surfaces with a washing up sponge, did you know that it can spread thousands of germs over them? Well, to help stop them spreading anywhere else, Fairy with antibacterial agents stops germs breeding on your sponge. You know what a difference Fairy makes to your dishes. Now, it can help stop germs spreading too. In fact, one little squirt from us is just the protection your little squirts need.
Better Homes, sponsored by Homebase.
Time for tea.
Oh, time for tea. And with the tea, a plate of cakes sent from Sue and Neil. I'll be counting those. I'll ask Jen how many arrived.
All right then.
They've worked so hard, I have to say. And the families have sent these cakes in as a little thank you present. Look at this treasure chest Toby's built. It's beautiful, all the fencing being painted. And here is the man, Toby. Cakes from Amanda and Peter.
Oh,
as a little thank you.
Absolutely
And,
lovely.
Listen, sunshine, seaside.
Makes a change, doesn't it?
It does a bit, doesn't it? I said there'd be no rain this
I'll
week.
get the kettle.
All right, then. And how is Neil doing? He said to me he'd never done it before, this block paving. And you are a fibber, mister.
I had just had a flash of inspiration.
You're a fibber.
No, it's just going very well.
It is going terribly well. And there are cakes for you. Cream ones. Jen, this is a lovely, big conservatory. Did you have to get planning permission for it?
Not in this instance, but we check with the planning officer first.
Because you've got to always do that.
You've got to check, yeah. So in this instance, we didn't because we were within the regulations of measurements. But every area has different rules and regulations, what size you can do, what you can do. So you have to check.
Made life easier for you?
Absolutely.
Inside the conservatory, Welly is solving a problem loads of you seem to be having. That's noisy.
It is.
Now, we've had lots of letters in about this, haven't we?
That's right.
Fixing a baton to a brick wall.
Fixing a batten
How do
straight to
you
a
do it?
wall. Well, we're using wall plugs,
Yeah.
plastic wall plugs. Now, they're necessary so that the screw gets a bite into the wall, so it's actually fixing to something. What we do, I've already drilled the hole.
Yep.
We need to bash the wall plug into the hole, but then it needs to go into the brick. So the screw just pushes it
Because
the
the
rest
hole
of the
goes
way.
right through into the brick.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then all we do is do the screw up. And there you go.
Good. So you put a hole in here for me.
Yeah.
Bash that wall plug through
That's
there.
it. And you need a screw.
screw. And bashing this screw takes the wall plug.
Into
Oh, yeah, I
the
can
rubber.
feel it now.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's
that's
all
the
right.
end of that.
And there you go.
And then screw it in. Okay. Oops, got it. Excellent. Lovely.
Perfect.
Ta-da!
Excellent. The Sushan palms have arrived.
Really good, aren't they?
Yeah, beautiful. Do you reckon we could lift them in on our own?
Looking at those root balls, no way, Toby. We're going to have to get some help.
Luckily, help is at hand and it is needed. Toby's plan is to put the palm tree at the furthest end of the garden. Across the road, our Genevieve is having a peaceful time painting some units she's built to hide the washing machine and the tumble dryer, which she's taken out of the garage and put into the house, much more convenient. Steady, boys, steady. After a lot of puffing and panting, the wood is in the hole, but is it worth it? Oh, yes. From the biggest plant to the most fragrant, Genevieve is planting some lavender around the base of the conservatory, and her job looks almost ready. However, the garden looks more like a building site. So where's Toby? It's gorgeous. And this treasure chest, which you have built by hand. I've seen you.
Yeah. Well, this is going to be a water feature, and it's got a lid on it so that Hannah can't get into the water. But it's basically a fountain in a
Fabulous.
washed
Just
up
coming up
treasure
here.
chest.
Is it going to have a mesh over it, though?
Yeah, well, the mesh will be covered
Yeah.
with pebbles and treasure.
Oh, excellent. So she's in no danger whatsoever.
She's in no danger getting into the water, and if she's left in the garden on her own, the lid
Yeah.
can come down, the hearth
This is
can
the
be
lock.
locked.
Makes a ton.
Yeah, and so she can't get in.
Are you pleased with how it's coming on?
Oh, well, yeah, well, I'm just glad it's not raining or snowing, you know.
The curved decking's nearly done. So time for those little details which make that better home's difference. We have two busloads of excited families come out. Sue and Neil, it's your turn first. Have you had a good week? Wait for me! Hey!
How are you?
Thanks for coming. Come on in, welcome. Remember, Sue and Neil only had a patio in their garden. Now they have this huge extra room. Wonder what they'll think of it.
Now look. Oh, wow. Oh, it's absolutely beautiful. I can't believe it.
That's fantastic.
Oh,
That's
gosh,
fantastic.
it's absolutely beautiful. It really is. Oh, it's just how I'd do it if I did it myself, honestly.
That's actually brilliant. I can't believe it. I don't believe
I'm
it.
shaking like a leaf. You are, aren't you?
Hey, it is. It's like when he relaxes with you, it is.
It's absolutely
fantastic.
superb. I just can't believe it. I really can't. It's just not something we could have afforded to do ourselves. It's just like winning a lottery or something. It's just.
It's gorgeous, isn't it?
Come over here. Now this is something, actually, Neil, that you can use as well, because you've got in here the washing machine and in there the tumble dryer.
Ah.
Do you want to open it? Open it, Sam. Let's see.
Ah, right, look at that.
Yeah.
Hey, over there. Many hours of fun.
We managed to get it in. We managed to get it all in.
Oh, I can't believe it. I'm
That's
really
really?
yeah. They've worked so hard. They really have.
But what kind of difference is this going to make to you?
Everything.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we're probably just living here now. It's the best room in the house, isn't it?
Well, come out here, and this is fabulous. See, we haven't taken up any of your precious lawn. We haven't damaged a single scrap of grass here, look.
I know.
More stones,
Oh, dear.
Oh, it's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah,
I've still got a patio there.
Yeah.
Yes, that's fantastic.
Look at this.
Oh, great.
Thank you, Carol. I have done nothing.
Oh, thank you.
They've worked
Thanks so
hard.
much.
Genevieve started with an ordinary back garden, but has given this house a superb addition. The woodlook conservatory blends in perfectly with the rest of the house, and this extra room is now going to be used for entertaining friends, with space for the practical side of living as well. Okay, come on everyone.
Hi.
Here we go.
Well, thanks for the cake. Yeah, thanks for the
Peter and Amanda left behind a fairly average-looking garden. What will they and daughter Hannah make of this seaside spectacular? Right, now, have a look.
Oh, wow.
It's a bit different, isn't it?
Speechless.
She wants to get round.
Yeah.
Come on, let's go through. Now, this is a seaside theme for you. It's a small garden. He's put lots of different areas in here. And Hannah, can you come down here? I've got something to show you. Little Prezi. See here? She's got your name on it, especially for you. And look, when I open it up, it's a sand pit. Look. Oh, good girl. Look at that. And this, Hannah, over here. Look, special little fountain. Do you want to take a pew on your little patio area? And the decking is ridged so that when it rains and everything, it's not slippery. It's
gorgeous.
Like it?
I do, yeah, I love the colour.
Come and have a pew.
I can't believe it could look so different. And the palm trees and everything, it's just like being on holiday, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, you just sit there because I've got something to show you. This canopy here, all it is just a hand-turning thing. Brilliant. So that if you want shade, you know, while you're eating, you can just have that. I'm just going to take this back so you can get all the lovely sunshine.
That's just brilliant.
You know, you had that block paving.
Yes.
Toby says block paving very unfashionable
Oh,
to
dear.
have, but we haven't thrown it away because Neil's been very busy and he's put your patio around there for you.
Oh, that's good. So that's another gate
And a
at the
gate
end.
through, but you can use it for storage if that's what you want.
Excellent. Yeah, it's just absolutely brilliant. Yeah, I've never imagined it could be this.
No, we had no idea it'd be like this.
Toby has been working brilliantly to make a seaside for children, but he's kept some very grown-up features as well. It's a Yorkshire Riviera. Fabulous. He's managed to give Peter and Amanda an all-weather area, and Hannah even has her own treasure chest. Michael O'Flaherty is our Better Homes estate agent and valuer, and may I say, Michael, in that new suit, a fashion icon to boot.
Thank you very much. You're very kind.
Remember, the family who's added the greatest amount to the value of their property is about to win £5,000. So let's start with the fantastic garden that Toby has given to Amanda and Peter.
Yes, it's a 4-bedroom detached house, and we have to say a little cramped on plot. It's got a small back garden, but what a back garden. It's a work of art.
It's sensational, isn't it? It's fun, it's happy, great place to sit out.
Yeah, I love everything about it. The sand pit, the water feature, the covered patio. It's absolutely tremendous. So many people, if they've got a small back garden, make the mistake of just putting down a lawn. No, landscape it, because that really can add value to the house. Because if you think, if you're selling the house, it's the last place that you show at the end. You invariably finish up in the garden. And yes, first impressions are important, but last impressions last.
So how much is it worth now?
£78,000.
And before Toby got his hands on it, it was worth £75,500. So that's an increase of £2,500. So let's move now to Sue and Neil's house, where Jen has done that fantastic conservatory.
Marvellous. A 3-bedroom detached this time. It's a nice position, backs onto the bowling green. And they needed more space, and they have certainly got it. The extension gives them 3 rooms in one. A sitting room, a dining room, and a utility. We mustn't forget that little barbecue area which catches the afternoon and the evening sun. I will give them my word of warning. It's a lovely room. Use it as an extra room. And also remember, you've got another room. Your old dining room in that house could now become a study, or knock through to the kitchen to have a breakfast or family room. It's a lovely house.
It is a lovely house. What's it worth now?
£75,000.
And that was worth £70,000. So that's an increase of £5,000. This week's winners are Sue and Neil. Come out. Well done, Amanda and Peter. We know you're going to love that garden with little Hannah and the little one on the way. It's a wonderful conservatory. Congratulations. What are you going to do with £5,000?
We're going to share it with Amanda and Pete.
That's really nice of you. That is nice. But you've still got £2,500.
Yeah, we're going to work on the rest of the house.
Well, if you want full details of this week's makeovers, just wait for our phone number, which is coming up, and you can phone for our free fact pack. Meanwhile, congratulations, Jen. Thank you to everyone for all the hard work and effort that you've put in. Thank you to you as well, as ever. That's it from all of us here in Sherborne and Elmet. We'll say goodbye. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye-bye. All you need to do to get this week's fact sheet is call 0906 5544 033. That's 0906 5544 033. Our fact sheet has got all the information about this week's makeovers. See you next time.
Better Homes, sponsored by Homebase.
An